So today I'm going to be interpreting an image that William English has posted in my section. And at the first glance, we can see that this image is of dog bowls, of both a food bowl and a water bowl right next to each other, and that the picture is also in black and white. Those are the two things that jump out at me immediately. Some elements and principles that are used very effectively in this photo. I believe there are several. So, first of all, there are a lot of different shapes in this photo, both geometric and organic. Both the dog bowls and the tray that it is laying on seem to be geometric shapes. And I believe that they balance each other out very nicely. And then all the little bits of dog food or kibble are definitely organic shapes that are surrounding the geometric shapes. I also believe that there's really good form here because we can tell from this picture that the dog bowls are 3D and not just 2D. We can get a sense of volume or depth with these bowls. We can see that they probably hold a decent amount of food, which is an interesting thing to note because both of them do look empty. So I think that's very interesting that the form of the bowls is there, and yet we don't see that it's being taken advantage of and there's no food or water in there. There is a little bit of space, open space at the bottom of the photo, just where the wood is, and at the top also where it looks like the white looks like perhaps it's a door. So it looks like there's some open space surrounding the bowls. The wood on the floor definitely leads us to interpret the texture. It looks to be fake wood or fake paneling, perhaps in an apartment. But the texture that we can perceive from this photo does make it look like real wood. And then also I believe that there is really good balance here with the white and black. I think the very like bright white of the door on the top balances very nicely with the darkness around the bowls and the silverness almost of the bowls. It leads me to believe that the bowls are stainless steel, perhaps. So I believe this photo is really about both hunger and struggle. So, as I noted before, both of the bowls appear to be almost entirely empty. The one on the left, I believe, is the one used to hold food, and there's only maybe 3 or 4 bits of kibble in there left for the dog. I believe the right one is holding water, but it doesn't appear to be holding very much. And so I think that this represents hunger because the dog clearly ate all of the food, was hungry enough to eat all of it, and then didn't have enough maybe to finish his meal. And then also struggle because I think both the dog is struggling to get the food that he wants. And maybe he should, maybe the dog's overweight, so maybe he shouldn't be eating as much as he wants, but he's struggling to get what he wants. And I think that there might even be perhaps an underlying struggle of the owner. Perhaps the owner is struggling to provide the food for the dog. Perhaps this photo is representative of like the last bits of kibble available to the dog, which of course represents a struggle both for the owner and the dog financially and just concerning basic needs. And I also think that this photo is about and represents kind of like sloppiness. I think the dog, and it's obviously a dog, but the dog is sloppy. There's kibble everywhere, making a mess while he's eating his food. And then sloppiness from the owner for not picking it up. And also, for me, it's somewhat bothersome that the two bowls don't fit on the tray underneath. It seems like if you wanted to have a tray underneath to catch the excess kibble, you would get one that would fit the bowls. So I see just a little bit of sloppiness here, both from the dog and owner. Some things that I would change with this photo. I do like this photo. I really like the message that I personally am getting from it. I think if I would change anything, I would play around with the angles a little bit. I really like the overhead shot that we're seeing here. I think that you can get a full like bird's eye view of the issue at hand, which is hunger, struggle, sloppiness. I believe it does present a full picture. However, I think that perhaps if you looked at it from the angle of almost at line with the bowl, you could also get a very intense image of just how deep the bowl is and how empty it is at the same time. Like the bowls hold this like opportunity and yet it's empty. And I think that messing with the angles would be very beneficial. I think it'd be very interesting to examine. And I think that we would still get the messages that the photographer is trying to convey with this image. Some things to improve within the composition of the photo. I do think that we could improve the edges of this photo. I think it kind of seems like it was taken fast, which that may have been done intentionally, in which case, good job. But I do think I would mess with the edges a little bit. I would try and get it more straight on. Or if you are going for more of the messy, fast paced look, I would just change it a little bit. The picture looks cropped unequally. But other than that, I really enjoyed the image. And yeah.